Look at those body shapes. They are practically identical. Both have the acoustic plus, both are solid mahogany. So why is this $100 more than this one? Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna adjust my glasses because they're slipping down my nose. Hey, who else has glasses? Give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you do. I'm gonna give you a comparison between the Enya Feather and the Enya Taimane Signature Ukulele. So I'm gonna give you some specs, some sound samples, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts as to why this one is $100 more, priced at $100 more than this one. These two instruments were sent to me in PR, and I am an Enya endorsed artist, so this video is sponsored by Enya, so thank you very much. Let's get started. I can do it again. I can do it better. Nope. From my standpoint, the way that this sounds, I feel like that the tones are similar, but different. I feel like that this one has more of a projection than this one. This one sounds a little bit more mellow. This one sounds has a little bit more high end. Like a higher end as in pitch. I would say that the mids are more pronounced in this one, and the mid tones are still very pronounced in this one, but this one has a little bit more of an edge to it. That's how I describe it. The specs are pretty much identical when you look at them side by side. These were taken from Enya's website. Both are made of solid mahogany. There are some slight differences that I'll get to later. With a close-up comparison, you'll notice that the Feather has the inlays that are made of maple and abalone, which are far more intricate than the ones found on the Taimane model. The tuning pegs do differ. The Feather has the gold agate die cast, whereas the Taimane has the silver die cast. Both bodies are 100% solid mahogany, and the body and the necks are both one solid piece. However, my contact at Enya told me that the headstock on the Taimane model is separate and not a solid piece like the Feather. Whenever you have a solid piece of anything, you're going to see an increase in price. If you've seen my review videos that I've talked about headstocks and scarf joints, the higher the two pieces of wood are to the tip of the headstock, the longer you try to extend the line, you're going to get more of an uninterrupted line of vibration transfer. Let's move on to body shape. I mean, look at these two. They practically look identical, and it's probably because they were made on the same machine. There are some slight differences though. When you look at this piece right here is one solid piece of mahogany right in the back, right here, and then up to the headstock. Now the headstock was assembled separately. It's a separate piece. And then this one, the Feather, this is one solid piece of mahogany from the neck, the headstock, neck, all the way back here. Finish-wise, very obvious that this is a satin finish and this is a glossy finish. If I have to pick a neck finish every single time, it would be a satin finish. I love that. I do love the fact that, you know, some instruments, they have a satin finish on the neck and then a glossy finished body. I think that's really cool because it really brings out the wood grain. And does the finish affect the tone? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. For me personally, I feel like both, they sound somewhat similar, but there is a difference to my ear here with this one where it sounds just a little more open than this one. This one's a little deeper. This one has a little bit more punch, a little more projection, and it's more on the brighter side of the sonic spectrum, in my opinion. It really brings out the chatoyance of the instrument. Chatoyance is the shininess of the instrument, you know, the luster. It's a jewelry term where it talks about the sparkliness of a gemstone, the luster, the shine. It really does a beautiful job just bringing out the beautiful wood grain of this instrument. And I had mentioned in the review that I wish that this did have a glossy finish at the top, but also at the same time, it might take away from that rosette. I mean, it's a perfect backdrop for that. You see that? The beautiful contrast with the crescent moon and the moody blue burst. Really pretty. It does come in two different colors too, more of a natural burst, and then you have the blue. I chose the blue. I think it's stunning. It's really, really beautiful within its own right. Now the bodies, you can definitely tell they were made on the same machine. The tops are different. So you see the traditional sound hole here. Here you have the Enya laser etched logo, and then you have the sound port here. So instead of the sound releasing or the tension releasing off of the instrument to, you know, project, instead of just here, because it's very small, you have the sound port here. Some people believe that the sound port is a really nice monitor because then you can hear yourself just a little bit more. But really, how close are you to your ukulele? You're really close. Let's just be honest right there. But it's just another kind of like pressure release valve, like how I like to describe it. And here you have the traditional sound hole, which is the perfect backdrop for that crescent moon. They're both strung with D'Addario J87 strings, and I'm not really quite sure how I feel about them. I mean, I switched out the 87s on the Nova Pro. At first I wasn't in love at first strum, to be perfectly honest. I can't remember what strings I restrung it. I'll put a little note over here. But they didn't cost me a lot. And you know, this is a nylon low G. I think that it really actually made the instrument punchy a little bit more. Then I feel like these strings kind of mellow out the instrument. And I wonder if I restring it with these strings, I'm getting used to them, and I think that they've been paired for a reason. And, you know, definitely the manufacturer is going to try out a bunch of different strings to figure out like what is going to be best for the instrument. But sometimes I just like want to try it for myself, you know, and maybe I would end up liking it better. Or I'll just say, hey, I'll switch it back. They were right. This is my opinion on where I think the money is going, because this one, the Taimane, is $4.99 with the Acoustic Plus, and then without the Acoustic Plus it's $3.99. So there's a $100 difference. I do see a difference with the price point, especially all the way from the tip of the headstock to this portion of the body down here. It's all one solid piece of mahogany. Whereas this one, you're going to see some cost savings because the headstock is on separately, but they did a really beautiful job. I can't find the hidden scarf joint. Like, it's really, really difficult. Normally I'm like, oh, I see you. I can see you. Because I see a lot of ukuleles. But with this one, it's just so hidden. But a quick comparison of the cases. So here you have a standard gig bag. It's very much like the base model from their mahogany line, tenors. So it looks like this. All right, and then you have this one right here. This one feels actually even a little bit thinner, but you have this gorgeous artwork by Sam, so please follow him on Instagram. It's really amazing. Also Taimane too, so support her as well. Incredible musician, incredible artist as well. Just her artistry and musicality, she just really performs. It's really cool. And then this one is $5.99. Look at that. Oh, just bumped the microphone. Look at that. So really, it feels like you're cuddling with a squishmallow, if you know what a squishmallow is. Yeah. I have kids, okay? This is what I compare it to. But yeah, it has the neck cradle right there. It even has this portion right here so that the strings don't get caught on the plush. So nice and heavy duty. Like, the padding on this is way thicker than the Taimane. And then you have this really cool slick pocket. I mean, the nylon feels really durable. And pocket right here. Pocket's not padded, but it's still, like, there's so much structure to this thing. This is definitely more reinforced and padded, has more bells and whistles than the Taimane. What do you think? How many of you have this feather ukulele? And what do you think? How many of you have the Taimane? What do you think? Do you have both? And are you hearing what I'm hearing? Do you hear what I hear? And I love to hear from you because I learn so much from you. You point out details that I missed or things that are updates, things like that. I think that that's really important. I have full reviews on all of these instruments featured in this video, and I'm going to link that in a playlist. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember, you are loved. Bye.